Welcome to the second chapter of our video presentation lecture series. By now you should have read chapter 1 and also complete watching the first video of chapter 1 as well. Right now, let's talk about chapter 2. Chapter 1 covered the general ideas of how we could come up ways to do research. And the very first step of doing research is to identify the problem and then come up with the ideas for those research. So this is what the chapter 2 is. Chapter 2 actually focusing on how can we actually come up with the ideas that you think is worthwhile for you to do the research. This is the outline on the agenda that we'll be talking about today. Again, please do not use this as your main source of reading. Please use your textbook, go over your textbook, read the textbook, and use this as a supplemental source to help you understand things better. Okay. So announcement, you should probably read chapter 2 by now. And just to remind you that please complete your article summaries 1. That's going to be this coming Sunday. First week of class. Okay, so let's get started. So how to generate ideas? There's several ways of generating ideas, but one of the best way, usually we recommend this for graduate works, graduate students who go for their master program or for their doctoral program. We actually recommend to look at the previous research that was done. Pick one of the research that was done and then expand on that ideas, expand on their ideas or on their research. One of the easiest way and the quickest way to get your thesis done, to get your master degree done, and to get your doctoral done. I know some student would love to actually come up with their own original idea, but sometimes that takes a lot more work, more time. But if you're willing to put in the time and the work, that's fine. But for those of us who just want to get in and get out and do things very quickly and get it done with, find out about the previous research by looking at peer-reviewed journals. These are journals that talk about research that's been done and they kind of like grading these research in a sense, giving them to make sure that they are up to the standard that we are looking for. Okay, one of the best way to come up to get the ideas, some ideas going is to read these journals. When you trying to generate ideas, a couple of things you want to keep in mind. One, is my idea interesting at all? Is it boring? Is it interesting? Really key to remember this is potentially benefit society. Is it potentially going to benefit anyone? I mean, for instance, you might want to, to study the loudness of flatulence or passing out gas or farting. You want to see how loud it is, but is that going to benefit the society? Is that going to have any implication to help improving mankind? So if not, you may not want to focus on those ideas. Okay, so something that's going to be useful for other people, not just kind of interesting to you, but kind of useful for other people as well. Is my idea novel, meaning it's original or new, or is it already someone already did the research in the past? So make sure that you're not you're not copying someone else's research. Okay, you're not copying someone else's research. You could use their ideas, but you could actually expand on their ideas into your own ideas as well. Hypothesis, we talk about this in chapter 1, is focusing on specific and testable claims. Okay, specific and testable claims. the key term is testable. You should be able to test these claims, test these ideas. Theory, on the other hand, is a broad statement, a very general, broad statement of the knowledge itself. So a few terms also regarding hypothesis and theories. One, is it testable or falsifiable? And most often time when we conducting the research, we want to do the falsifiable. We want to prove that the null hypothesis is false. We'll talk about null hypothesis later on, just letting you know that most often time when we come up with a research hypothesis, we want to disprove it. We want to falsify it. If we falsify it of the null hypothesis, therefore your hypothesis is correct. Okay. Whether your research can be replicated, is it clear enough for people to actually redo your research? Parsimonious, is it simple enough? Your explanation, is it simple to understand? Okay. So one of the things that I always focus on in my class is KISS. Keep it simple. You want to make sure that these things are quite simple, that people could actually follow, people could replicate your research again, and be able to explain these information in a simple terms so people would understand what are you referring to. So when we talk about your ideas, there's a couple ways that come up to your hypothesis. There's something called deduction and induction. Deduction and induction. So deduction is a top-down process, whereas kind of looking at a bigger picture, looking at overall ideas, and then kind of work from the bigger picture to the smaller, finite, small little details. Induction is the opposite. Induction is the bottom up, meaning that you're looking all the little details to come up with the conclusion, to come up with the prediction or bigger picture. Okay. So for instance, the hypothesis is stating students who sit in front row will score higher on exam than students who sit in the back row. That's the hypothesis. Inductively, if you want to look at this, you look at students who sit in the front row are smarter than students who sit in the back row. So by looking at the overall picture, well, students sit in front score higher. When they score higher, probably means that they are smarter. Or you could look at inductively, looking at their score. You observe that 3 of the students sitting in the front row always score highest on the exam. So you're looking at inductively. Okay. So now your turn. I want you to find out what this statement referring to, inductively or deductively. You observe 2 of your friends arguing. About 2 minutes into the argument, a comedy special airs on TV that makes both of them laugh. After that, they no longer argue. From this, you conclude that humor can alleviate conflict. Is it inductive or deductive? This is an example of inductive. Okay, inductive. This is inductive reasoning. How about another one? While reading a professional paper, you come across a theory stating that increased violence during children's television programming leads to an increase in violence among children. You resolve that if this is true, then it is also true that an increase in non-violent children's television programming will lead to a decrease in violence among children. Is this inductive or deductive? This is an example of deductive reasoning. Last one. You observe a friend praying while he is sick. Soon afterward, he recovers. You conclude that spiritual faith has a positive impact on health. If this is true, you resolve then people who express spiritual faith have a shorter duration of common illnesses than those who do not. The answer to this is both. This is both inductively and deductively. So you could view it as both. So when we look at literature reviews, what you want to do is you want to look at the ideas that change into hypotheses, looking at those hypotheses. One of your assignment, the first assignment that you do is to review, summarize the articles. I put out 5 articles for you, and you have to summarize one of them. And by summarizing this, you are using this, you're actually practicing reading these peer-reviewed journals, peer-reviewed articles, and trying to pick out main information from those articles or those journals. Okay. First, you want to pick the right topic. Okay, topic that I want you to choose is topic that you like. This is very key in writing your own research proposal paper. Pick something that you actually like. It's gonna worth your while. You won't feel bored to death when you pick something that you don't like. And from those, there are places that you could actually find out these articles. Arizona Christian University library actually have all of these. I would recommend for your project, look into PsycInfo and Psych articles. These are the 2 best places that you should be looking for your research articles, okay? Including the 10 that you're going to have to come up with. 10 research articles that you have to come up and summarize has to come from these 2 sources. And with time, I just want to kind of skip forward a little bit, but when you do your research, when you're reading these articles, make sure you want to cite them appropriately, giving the appropriate reference, giving the credit to whoever did the article in the past. 3 C's for effective literature review. 1, you want to be comprehensive. You want to make sure that you get all the information, that you read the whole thing, you read the whole entire journals, make sure that you understand correctly. So comprehensive. You should have all of this. This is part of your first assignment, to looking at the title, the abstract, the introduction, the methodology, the result, and the discussion. All of these are part of your first assignment you're going to be doing. Second is be critical. Ask yourself, who is the participant? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Does that make sense to you? Be aware of your own biases as well. Be clever. These are strategies that coach you to be clever. Finding the flaws, finding the contradiction, anomalies, anything that kind of throw you off or make you confused. Think about beyond the research as well. So make sure that you understand the research correctly. Okay, and test out your ideas as well. So I want you to review some of those. Those are the key, like I said, key information for you to understand what we're about to do in your assignment that you're going to be doing in this class. Hopefully these should help as we go along these chapters. It should help you build those ideas for all of the assignment that you have to complete in the next few weeks. Okay. Quick review. A blank is a testable but yet to be tested claim or statement concerning the relationship among variables that can be observed. The answer is hypothesis. Okay, good. To organize the sources you come across and make literature review more efficient, first review sources using the internet, Google search, then search from peer review or scientific sources if they seem applicable. The answer is false. You should not use internet Google search. Again, I recommend using the PsycInfo and the Psych database. That's it for chapter 2. Thank you for watching. Please continue reading chapter 3 and complete your assignments. Thank you.